following. It is Tuesday, July 19th, 2016. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of Dublin San Ramon Services District. Presiding this evening is President Pat Howard. Our meeting will be recorded as well as live streaming this evening.
Well, I call the meeting to order, and would you please join me in the pledge? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Director Borte?
Here.
Director Mishawak?
Here.
Director Von Heber Leopold? Here. Vice President Falcon?
Here.
President Howard?
Here. Let's see, public or special?
Yes, President Howard, we have a number of items and special announcements. The first are some new employee introductions. We have 4 of them tonight. First, we're going to have our field operations supervisor, Clint Burnham, is going to introduce his newest staff member.
My first introduction was field supervisor. And at Inicio, we're lucky enough to steal from the city of Pleasanton.
And you know you're being recorded and projected.
He's got 10 years of experience that he brought to the district. He has several certifications. He has his water distribution operator grade 4, his water treatment operator grade 2. And he's also certified as collection system maintenance 2 and backflow prevention assembly tester. He also worked for us years back, I think it says a temp in 2004. So we're lucky enough to get back.
Awesome. Welcome.
Great job.
Awesome.
Okay, next we're going to introduce our customer service supervisor, Pete Golden, is going to introduce her newest staff person.
Thank you. I'm really the pleasure to introduce you to our newest member of the customer services team, Charles Simmons, or Chuck. Chuck retired from the Navy, had a really wide-ranging, diverse career there, and enjoyed working with field operations, doing plant operations, the harvesting process, had an opportunity to come last fall and help us with the customer service with gear installation and equipment repair, transponder installation, and on work when we were down a person, and that job came with an opportunity that we applied for, and we were thrilled to be able to steal him from field operator, from operations, and he got him to come back and do harvesting. So he's been a great addition to our team. He's a CFR 2, and he started this on June 20th. We're really happy to have him.
Excellent. Like sure I can do some elections.
And thank you for your service in the Navy.
Thank you.
And now District Secretary Nicole Gonzalez will introduce her newest staff person.
President Howard, members of the board, I am so pleased tonight to be able to introduce you to the newest member of the Executive Services Group in the Management Department. This is Vivian Chu. She is our newest administrative analyst. She started on June 27th, and I think this is officially her 4th week. And every time I talk to her at the end of a new week, she says, "I'm happy, I'm having fun," and I'm going, "Wonderful!" We're just having such a great time working with her. And she comes to us from the city of San Leandro. She was with them for 13 years, and she served 9 years as their deputy city clerk. So she comes with some fantastic records experience, legislative experience, agenda management experience. She's had her annual elections, and she also has her master municipal clerk designation. So we are very pleased to have her here on board at DSRSD. She's a fantastic addition to our group, and we look forward to many years having her with us.
Welcome.
Okay, and the last person works for me. Our new engineering services manager, whose contract you will be considering on the consent calendar. Judy has 28 years of engineering experience and success in both the public and private sectors. She's had experience with East Bay Municipal Utility District and the last 9 years here at DSRSD. She was elected Supervisor of the Year in 2015 by staff. She took over the asset management program about a year ago, and it's done in that time what I would have expected to take 2 to 3 years. She's really accelerated the progress of the asset management program. She's a champion for continuous improvement and employee development. She joins us tonight.
Awesome.
So on Saturday, just a news event. This last Saturday, Central San Martinez held an open house for their 70th anniversary. It was a great event. I went to attend that. They had, I think, 900 people, very sophisticated operation. They had off-site parking, circling buses taking care of folks. A lot of tours going. It didn't work out for me to take the regular tour, so I got the personalized tour. I got to go to all sorts of places I wasn't supposed to go to. In and out. Their engineering services manager gave me a great top tour there. So I took notes. So when we did our 70th anniversary celebration, they set the bar, but a little bit the bar when it's our turn first. And then just a news item, this Friday we are anticipating that as part of a development project on Belgian Boulevard, we'll be shut off part of our recycled water system. In fact, all the recycled water system, all the surface area east of Doherty Valley could be shut down for up to 24 hours. We are notifying our customers, we have put out a press release, and it's a necessary requirement for the development project that's occurring on Camp Park here on Belgian Boulevard, just to adjust the grade of the water pipe and to get the utilities across it. We just have to shut down at that time. So we're notifying the public. I just wanted you to be aware and hear about that, and your compatriots with other agencies able to recycle water as the storage utility project has to be done for redevelopment. That's it for special announcements.
Okay, let's see. Any correspondence? There's none. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, public comment. Do we have any members of the public hanging out on our Okay, reports.
Okay, for the event calendar, tomorrow afternoon we have Aqua's president, Kathy Keats. She's coming to visit us. She's on a road tour across the whole state, visiting all of the constituent agencies of Aqua. So she's showing up. She's meeting with the senior managers here. If any of you would like to attend, feel free to join us. It's 2:30 tomorrow in the GM's conference room. And as a reminder, the CASA conference, the summer conference in Monterey is coming up from August 10th to August 12th. Our records are showing, our planning is showing that we have 5 staff plus directors, Von Leopold and Portia attending. We have received an invitation from one of our consultants, West Hills Associates, for a dinner at that event. They're proposing either Wednesday the 10th or Thursday the 11th. If anybody would like to join that dinner, if you could let me or Nicole know by the close of business on Thursday, that'd be convenient. We can get back to West Hills and let them know how many folks from DSRSD are attending. And then I just want to give folks a reminder that we are in the open nomination period for the DSRSD board candidates. That opened yesterday, and the period closes on August 12th. That's it.
Now, I'll say it again, correspondence. Agenda management, the only thing there is 11A is dependent upon E.
Yeah, so that's a closed session. We only have one full meeting in closed session. And staff doesn't recommend that, but that's available to the commission.
And then we have, see committee reports, we have Derwa. Let's see. It's so long I forgot.
I assume you passed the budget maybe.
Yeah.
Some officers.
And we did officer president. Anyway, yeah, Derwa was smooth, nothing major. Yeah, for the, yeah.
DSRSD seek approval from Durwood to go ahead and design and construct the park.
Yeah, so that was just a minor $19 million office.
Yeah, and so was other thing. Approval of minutes. We have minutes for June 21st.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Abstain.
Abstained, did you want to? Okay. And we move on to consent calendar.
I'm going to pull 8D, and don't worry, we don't need 11B. I'm pulling 8D.
Yeah, we can't. Okay, so is there a motion for the remaining items?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None, so those pass, and that brings us to 8D.
There's just no way I can do this on consent. I was pleased to see the email from Mr. McIntyre a week ago or so, and I know it was, you had a lot of great candidates to choose from, and I really think you chose a great candidate, and also the others that weren't chosen, some internal, some external, I'm sure it was very, very difficult. I've known Judy for 9 years, because I was here, I can't believe I still want to do that, that's scary. Anyway, welcome to the party. Huh?
I'm thinking that.
Welcome to the party. Really, really glad that you were chosen for this role. I think it'll be fantastic. So I just want to not do something sad and do it live. So I'd like to make a motion for 8D to approve the appointment of Judy Zabadell as Engineering Services Manager and to adopt the personal services agreement as stated in our packet.
I will second.
Okay, that's been moved and seconded. Any other comments? Other than congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well, let's
I've
take a
known
vote
Judy
first.
longer than anything, and
All right.
I signed DSRSD, and she's wonderful.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. That passes. So, now we get back to 9A.
I just want to note that last motion approval was with clear enthusiasm. Last loser, they got in the same position.
Trust me,
So our new engineering services manager will give a short report on construction bids for the DSRSD collaboration.
So this item is in regards to renovations that we had designed for our new school operations building. We put out to bid the project on June 22nd, and we received the bid in July 8th. We had an engineer's estimate of $642,000, and we got one bid for $925,000. So we'd like to rebid the project. We think that we could get more competitive bids if we do. We believe the reason that we had limited bids was that we put self-perform rather high, with the self-perform at 50%, and particularly for tenant improvement contractors, we believe this is we told very high. Director Clark is also enlightening on changes in the construction industry and that is a high bar to set for the contractor. So we're going to put it out to bid again very quickly and then see if we can get more competitive bids for the project.
Yeah, and just as another comment, just make sure that we place the ad in all the builders exchanges and in the Daily Pacific Builder, which is the construction trade industry newspaper. Everybody reads, every contractor. Every contractor of any size that does public works has a subscription to the Daily Pacific Builder. So you really need, our job needs to be in there.
So, translating the engineer speak, engineer. So the performance bond was set too high?
No, she's telling me that the plan specifications, the general conditions require that the contractor self-perform 50% of the work, and that's an unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, for
Ratio
GI, you
four.
got to sub out all the.
Yeah, this is B licensed general building contractor for renovations. Also, as an aside, it's a contractor's market right now. There's so much work out there, and most contractors of value, shall we say, busy. So that's just the luck of the draw.
Well, we all have some tools, we can just go.
Well, we're hoping, we also had some regularities to like, that, perhaps with, but we just weren't getting that.
Need something formal from us.
Yeah, we have a resolution. Reject.
I'll move for resolution, that we approve by resolution the rejection of all the bills received.
Okay. Moved and seconded.
Aye. We're eager, man.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Oh, you didn't ask yet?
No, I didn't even ask.
Well, he was like 80% through the answer.
I was getting there. 9B. Processes. Performance appraisal.
So in February, the board approved process and schedule for evaluation of the general manager. The events have overtaken us, and schedule we're moving around, so staff has a recommendation for a modified process. So you're kind of revisiting this. The first evaluation period would cover the first 5 months, with the report being provided from each of the board in September, and the evaluation process being concluded in mid-October. Human Resources Supervisor Michelle Gallardo would be your assigned staff person and can facilitate that process for you. Staff recommends to approve the process and schedule shown in the agenda item.
Schedule looks just fine.
Yeah.
Move to be approved.
Yeah. Move. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. That carries. 9C. Strategic work plan. Okay.
Okay, so the fifth edition of the strategic work plan was approved by the board kind of concurrently with the budget process last year. And the strategic plan has 22 goal statements and 119 work tasks. So just as a news item, I ran into Rick Malchuk yesterday and he said, be sure to tell the board in detail about all 119 work items. No, I'm going to cover about 2 dozen of the work items. Some of them I'll hit really fast, so don't fear the 2 dozen. In some cases, we're a little ahead of schedule on some of the strategic plan work items. In a few cases, we're behind. In some cases, that's because of staffing limitations and turnover in staff. And in most cases, we're on schedule. I'm just going to talk about some of the highlights of where we're well behind schedule and where we're having our greatest successes. Staff's not proposing any changes to the strategic work plan this year. There's always an opportunity in an off year to revisit or revise it. We've accomplished a lot within the context of being down 1 or more senior managers for the last months. We have lots of improvements going on, which shows slow the progress on a couple of things, particularly some of the administrative items, for example, a couple of HR items. So let's go through highlights. Okay. So our first item is paying down Okay, one of the first things we're going to hit is paying down deferred unfunded liability in accordance with the board policy. That's to be done over 3 payments, one of each of 3 years. The second of the 3 payments was made back in March, $5 million payment. There's one remaining payment next year, and we are on track to make that third payment. We see no problem making that third payment in accordance with the policy. There's no change in policy. We're on track. Next is review the adequacy of the district's reserve policies to ascertain if revisions are needed to protect the district ratepayers against a significant economic downturn. So we have not started, and we have deferred to the spring, and that's primarily because of some staffing limitations. And also, we want to further develop and finalize our preliminary asset management replacement model, and reflect that and link that together with the reserve policies. That provides a good foundation. We're getting really close on that, but not quite there. I think we can put together a pretty good financial plan and expect to do that in the spring. We want to update the water capacity reserve. The study construction of the big water management plan. That is completed. And moreover, beyond that, we added a new special project. We added $10 million initial seed funding for the potable reuse project. So the potable reuse concept is kind of alive again in the valley here in the last year. And so this first money being proposed by any agency to fund a project, whether DSRSD does it alone or in partnership with other agencies, is going to cost a lot more than this. This is a great start, and it's paid for through connection fees and development. We wanted to complete the 2015 Urban Water Management Plan. That's a plan that needs to be completed by state mandate once every 5 years. It talks about an assessment of long-term water supply, water demands, conservation programs, drought management programs, various regulatory structures. That is completed. The board approved that back in May. We want to develop an indirect potable use reuse project concept in partnership with one or more tri-valley partners. So that's a multi-year goal. So it's not a one-year goal. It actually spreads over 3 or 4 years in the strategic plan. We're hitting the milestone and proceeding along the path on that one. A request for proposal for a joint feasibility study has been issued. That was done about a week and a half ago. Proposals are due in the first week of August. There is a multi-agency project management committee facilitating this. Zone 7 is the day-to-day project facilitator manager. Zone 7 board will actually consider on September 21st the award of this contract, and the other agencies will execute task orders under the intergovernmental services agreement to reimburse Zone 7 for our respective prorated portions of the study. Or water agencies are collaboratively working on the joint study. So we have us, Zone 7, Pleasanton, and Livermore all very afraid on this study participating.
So don't be afraid to reach out to any of us if you need a little bit of nudging before 9/21 to get this thing moving into a direction that we
Not the schedule work, and I'm confident we're going to get it.
Listen, but it's not our board doing it, so. If you need help, don't be shy.
All right. We want to monitor and regularly, well, interestingly enough, the Zone 7's urban water management plan that was approved about a month before ours.
They had it in there.
They actually acknowledge that there may be a delay or potentially a permanent postponement of California water mix development. That's because they acknowledge that they need both the reuse project and the south to meet their water reliability targets. So their urban water management plan talks about it, and therefore, as a hedge against development uncertainty, pretty much we can invest the point and say, we need to do this study to see how things play out. The next strategic task is to monitor and regularly report per capita water usage within the district to ensure the district continues to meet continuously the state water conservation target of 20% by 2020. This is a state regulation that came down in 2010. There's a baseline year and we're required to use our gallons per day per capita by 20%. So on a gallons per capita per day in our service area, the target that was established for 2020 is we need to hit 169 gallons per capita per day. So as of 14-15, our actual was 106 gallons per capita per day. So 5 years ahead of time, we exceeded the target by 37%.
What's our policy?
I think it's
Yeah, that's
75 or 80.
We had some
gallons
crazy
per capita
target we're
per
trying to
day.
get to.
Yeah, it's 75 or 80 gallons per capita per day for our water reliability and conservation policy that we adopted last October. We want to expand Durwo's recycled water plant beyond the 6 filters to serve Pleasanton and expand water delivery within the DSRSD boundary. The 6th sand filter project was awarded on emergency basis back in January, and that installation is complete. It's up and running. We're now working on design of the phase 2 $19 million expansion of the Durwo facility. The design of the plant, the phase 2 plant is underway, is over 50% complete. In design, we'll be constructing next year. Just an interesting footnote, there will be a lot of construction of the wastewater treatment plant next year through this, and we're having to do some thinking if the fill station were to be operational next year. It may not be possible to have the fill station at the plant. So other options. We'll bring a report to the board on that in November. We want to complete the water and recycled water master plan and corresponding capacity reserve and studies. This is a separate item. It's related to an earlier item. It's kind of repetitive, but we've now both those things off the water and recycled water master plan is done. And it's approved the current capacity reserve and study we talked about it a couple months ago. We want to complete the wastewater treatment plant and the biosolids facility master plan to reflect recommended projects in the capital improvement plan and budget. This is a fiscal year ending 17 target, so we've already started on it. We're working our way at it. We're supposed to finish it in the fiscal year which has started, and we're on schedule for completion this fall. And this is a major long-term planning effort. The plant master plan and biosolids facility master plan will set our priorities in our capital budget for the next 10 to 20 years. So we have a lot of financial implications on capital contribution. We want to secure, procure, construct, beg, borrow, or steal a permanent home for the field operations corporation yard. Earlier this spring, we advised officials at Camp Parks that regretfully we would be no longer their tenant, moving off the base. He informed us, never mind, we were being evicted.
Let's worry.
Oh, okay. And, I'm thinking with the Army being our landlord, just squatting and overseeing our tenure, like, work, things like computers. I don't think they sent a sheriff to protect us. So we're working really hard on that. So the acquisition is complete, and we expect the Field Operations Corporation yard to be operational or at least occupied by September 30th, 2016. With the delay in the rebid of the remodel, there'll be some remodeling going on while the facilities have to work around the remodel or that will change to others. We want to complete a comprehensive database of all utility assets by fiscal year 2020. So 4 years ahead of time, we have 90% of the assets in the database. So we're way ahead of that. And this is going to be the foundation of a yearly complete preliminary asset replacement model. Having a complete preliminary asset replacement model is necessary, is important as a foundation on our long-term replacement program, and will help us design a financing plan that will bring to the board, and that will also drive reserve policies that the board will take a fresh look at next year. Refinements on this are going to continue for the next decade, so there's a preliminary asset replacement model that comes out as we refine our operational practices and our replacement. We get more knowledge on replacement. We'll hopefully be able to bend the cost curve and control some of the. We want to complete an assessment of the regional sewer facility replacement needs as part of the wastewater treatment master plan, and begin developing a database to track all maintenance rehabilitative work on the plant assets. We want to complete an assessment of the regional sewer facility replacement needs. So this is a planned 4-year process in the 5-year plan. So we did 1 year before, and our progress is we are ahead of schedule on doing all of the activities. The preliminary asset replacement model, as I mentioned, is nearing completion. We have good coordination by engineering and operations. So the key driver or selling point on this particular work task is the idea of asset management is more than just a simple engineering replacement model. It's also an integration of operational strategies on how to strategically manage your assets to try to bend the cost curve. And those two items tied together are kind of wrapped in the bow with the financing plan. How are you going to strategically over time fund that? So all the units are working together on that, and we're working toward a fully integrated model with a little bit of schedule on that. We want to complete the Bay Area biosolids energy feasibility study with the objective of having DSRSD serve as one of the pilot project sites. This is a planned 3-year process in the 5-year strategic plan. We are on schedule. We've been identified as the potential merchant facility operator, Centro, as the preferred site. So we're having lots of conversation with them. There's going to be some major board policy decisions on this in 2017. So this is a new technology. There's a question of kind of what's the financial risk, how heavy do we get involved, what partners are we going to have. The idea on this is to blend our wet sludge with other agencies' dry sludge to have an optimum water content sludge that is preferred for running this self-sustaining reaction that produces complexity on this one. The board will be discussing this one probably 2 or 3 times over the next 6 months to a year, because of complex policy decisions. We want to regularly train employees and conduct drills to prepare for emergencies, both local and so not completed, that not started. And this is primarily because of staffing limitations, some of the changes in senior management focus on what we're doing, putting a little more emphasis on some master planning efforts. This has been deferred. We'll take this on next year. One advantage we have on this is that this relates to our nursing operations center. In my prior experience, I had like 15 years of experience in nursing operations center, just more training and we're managing on this. So I'm pretty familiar with this. I'll be directly involved working with team members on getting our nursing operations center plans updated and getting people set up for that. It'll be a focused effort in 2017, so not a lot of work later this year, but in calendar year 2017, we'll be tackling that. We want to develop a master plan for the business network. This is not completed. Again, this is a staff implementation issue, so for that, we will dive into it in this fiscal year. We want to respond to all public records and act requests in the spirit of the law. This year, we received 24 Public Records Act requests. We received and responded to. One was particularly complex, required lots and lots of legal help. Probably over 100 hours of staff time to pull the records together. A challenging one for one developer. So it's nice. We're starting to see more Public Records Act requests come through, so it's kind of accelerating the snowballing thing. So that's the bad news. So that requires greater effort. But the good news is we're implementing our electronic content management system, and implementation of that's going to help growing more demand. We'll be working to it electronically, gather, collect, search our records. And Vivian is our new records manager who we introduced earlier tonight. And we're going to get going at a faster pace on implementing this, and that will help offset the increasing demand for records. We want to update the strategic work plan task every year. So the strategic plan, the 5th edition, was approved back in 2015, and that's actually a streamlined and reformulated document. We probably chopped, if I had to guess, maybe 40% from like the 4th edition. So it is pretty heavily streamlined. And as I said before, we're not proposing any revisions to the plan in 2016. So most of the things were on track at the 119 in the program. A few were ahead of schedule, a few were behind schedule, but we're not proposing any changes to the plan. Of course, see it full plan update next year. I am proposing further streamlining in 2017 for the 6th edition, and some things that we're going to focus on is more explicitly using it as a communication tool. So kind of the way it's set up is, even though it's been streamlined, it's still kind of weighty. I've now, as I'm working through doing goals for the individual managers next year, reading the thing like about 15 times over the last 2 weeks. It really takes a long time. It's like War and Peace. So we're gonna streamline it a little bit. Also, it's organized mostly by either department or by board committee. That's kind of how the tasks are set up. And so thematically, you actually have some ideas that are disjointed or kind of strung out throughout the long plan that goes on for 12 or 14 pages. So what I want to try to do is bring those together into a thematic effort so that it's more understandable to the public on our webpage, and perhaps more importantly, a more useful communication tool for staff. So I'll be working with the executive leadership team developing that later this year, early next year, and bringing that to work for further application and adoption. We're going to put a special emphasis next go-around on the thematic linkage of ideas across departments. So the ideas, although a particular department or division might be the lead on doing some main item, there will be other units that will be given tasks that indicate how they are going to support the lead department or division in addressing a major issue. And then perhaps the biggest change that we're going to do is a lot of the items in the strategic plan are actually a placeholder, like the to-do list, which means 4 things not to forget. Things like, don't forget to have a board election every 2 years. Don't forget to do your budget. Don't forget to do rate studies. Don't forget to negotiate contracts with bargaining units, which I'm sure we would never forget, but they're on the list just to make sure. And those aren't really strategic goals. They're just things that administratively we need to make sure that we do. And so what we're going to do is move some of those items off onto a separate administrative task list. We'll show that to the board, but we're not going to put those under the rubric of strategic plan. It'll be a separate administrative task list. That's the list that we roll.
And that's, having sat through, let's see, this is the fifth edition, I think I've been involved in all 5 editions. It's two things from a board member perspective. It's, many of these things are too prescriptive, they're not strategic, we set policy and these are like 3 levels below policy in a lot of these items. And, it's not as bad now, but there was a time when, as we're setting this thing up, we had to throw something to every department because it felt like, if you don't mention Department X and have some goals for them, we don't value them. That's just not true. It's just, we need to be thinking of this more like cross-domain, bigger picture stuff. Let you guys figure out these details. We should probably be able to give you like 10 things to do and leave it at that. Just
Okay, you want to evaluate the operation of the board's revised committee system a year after it goes into operation, so a little more than a year after it goes into operation. So we've not completed that. We're proposing to reschedule that for this fall. And actually, the board has changed in how it's addressed a lot of its items. And in fact, I think in the last year, we've had 3 committee meetings instigated at the request of staff to bring special checking items, which the board we propose and recommend that we continue that and bring that back for discussion. We have streamlined the number of committees down to 3 now. And the board will revisit that in the fall. I guess we'll have to consider, perhaps you might want to do it like after the election.
Yeah, don't do it in the fall, do it in the
See what the new board wants to do. So we'll call that late fall. Okay. We want to reconvene the Tri-Valley Utility Ad Hoc Committee each year to assess progress in 2014. So this has not been completed and our implementation issues. So I'm not sure how productive it is to try to call for one of these meetings to come together and talk about issues. There are a couple other agencies that have current other areas of focus, and it might be problematic trying to twist somebody's arm to a meeting. I think sometimes seeing conversations and some preliminary planting of some seeds might be a more useful approach. So that's what I'm proposing for this next year, rather than trying to pull 6 agencies together to form that adjourn that. We want to evaluate the cost of expanding and improving the broadcast of live board meetings. This is to be implemented in fiscal year 2017. This is an item that actually the board has given previous direction on back in 2012, and they approved appropriation for the capital budget last year. And we've received some new information on one of the options. There's been some other updated data that's come in, so we're going to be revisiting this with the board. Hopefully later this summer. It is a 2-year task, so we're 1 year in, and so we need to go forward with board direction on this. Like I say, work with the board to this. We want to develop an influential public, community leaders who represent a broad cross-section of interest to our commission to influence decisions. This item has been completed by our public affairs group, and the primary vehicle for that is the DSRSD today email that goes out to key members of this community. And the board received a report actually in January and gave some additional direction on who to include in our influential public. So we need to implement that for direction. And an additional bonus advantage of this is ultimately will be supported by public outreach on opioid use, since this is an important foundational effort, and we're proceeding with that explicitly as a target. We want to implement new customer service procedures to allow online access to the billing history for doing printing. It's completed, and 2 years of data are available. So we want to get access to their water bills. And has been, we got that kind of implemented fortuitously just in time with great drought hits, and we had that, parts of that on time. want to develop a long-term compensation benefits philosophy, so not completed, staff limitations are the primary reason for that. And the task does need to be beginning in fiscal year 17, we have contract negotiations this calendar year, so this is a preliminary strategic task, we get kind of in advance of that, and we will have that for the board. We want to assess the district's deferred compensation for 57 plan, that's currently reviewed every 4 years. And this is not completed, it's staff notification, and we have to do that this week, calendar year. And with that, a lot of questions. We did not talk about, see 96 other items. If you want me to cover those, I'd be happy to. There you go.
Well, the condensation as well.
Any comments or questions?
Proceed as.
EMS, just a review and there's no action.
Unless you had any comments on anything that I covered verbally or in the written report you had covered all.
I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with Rich that a lot of this is more detailed than we need to deal with. However, that's not to say that it shouldn't be addressed. It's just that we don't need to see all of that detail, but it does need to be on some type of a work plan for you.
Well, I think his description of making it into 2 lists, it's almost like a job description. You're going over what we expect you to do, as opposed to specific goals and things that we actually want to input, design and implement. Having the 2 lists, I think, would be streamlining for both the board and for staff.
Any other comments?
Looks good.
Okay, we'll close that and move on to board member items. Anybody have anything?
I have a condensed version of my 2.5 days at SDLA in Napa. That was a pretty place, I wish I got to see it. Anyway, it was, having been granted the opportunity to serve on this board this past October, I was familiar with a number of the concepts of the first 3 modules of the session. And that said, these particular modules, mostly having to do with GM and governance and general things about a board, further cemented for me just how fortunate I am to be with this district. Pretty special. DSRSD is truly a well-oiled machine with a non-contentious board.
But we are willing to learn. We're a little bit.
Thanks, Ruth. This has proven to be invaluable to the processes and stewardship of the district to the community we serve. It's really pretty important. And really, how much more time we could have been as a large portion of one module was dedicated to the GM review process. And Module 4 was presented the last day. It was a half-day session. In some respects, it was one of the main reasons for my wanting to attend the academy. This module presented what board members need to know about their district finances and really help. And, excuse me, a subject that has made me feel like a fish out of water. I don't have an accounting background. I've worked with the financial end of small businesses and running that, but beyond that, on a corporate level, nothing in my previous lives. So some of the takeaways of all the sessions in general that I'd like to share is just, I tried to pick out a couple of highlights because otherwise we'd be here for 2 days while we're hearing that I would like to share. So as board members, the buck stops with us. And one of the major takeaways is understand that the CPA Roper is understanding the right questions to ask is the toughest area for a non-financial accounting-based board member. A budget is one of the district's most important policy documents. It's a flexible plan of revenues and expenses. and the budget process begins with strategic plan. The module provided me with some good basics around the corporate budget itself, creating a budget, and the necessary auditing processes. And one thing that they recommend, the CPA recommended, is that while the legal requirement is to change audit firm itself or one of the partners in the other partners in the audit firm, is the legal requirement is 6 years, but they recommend doing it every 5. And then these things were really kind of interesting. There are 4 attributes that they see as being creating an effective board member: mindfulness, manner, focus, and preparation. Effective board members keep the needs of their community as a primary focus. This is kind of cute. It goes on in the board meeting, stays in the board meeting, and made me think about the ads for Las Vegas. If confidentiality is broken, trust is possibly irreparably lost. And the board needs to know how management responds to any recommendations or advice coming out of an audit. Risk management is critical. And finally, the responsibilities of the board, which you know sort of intuitively, but they laid it out. Set direction, establish structure, provide support, ensure accountability, and act as community leaders. And I got so much out of this. It was a long conference, and it was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed it, and who would have thought that the CPA, in my estimation, and several others that I spoke to, was the CPA. The others fell short, but CPA was the best one. So, thank you for allowing me to attend that conference. And I do have, I'll bring you a copy of this. I did pass.
I'm sure you did.
Yes, what I didn't understand was,
Was there a test?
no.
Oh.
It told you there was a thing that said you had to sign off that you attended each thing. Well, it only required your own initials.
Okay.
We believe you.
No, I attended sometimes grueling there. Grueling in the sense of trying to stay awake. Thank you.
Ed?
Yesterday, I attended our quarterly CCSDA meeting in Martinez along with Dan. And the majority of the meeting was the routine reports, updates from East Bay Regional Parks, LAFCO, and our legislative update. The main speaker, though, what I wanted to mention was the general manager for the Fountain House. Is that the name of the district?
It's
Iron House. Iron House Sanitation District. Well, as you know, most of you know, it's a reclamation district. They made a presentation on their operation of their side job is they own cattle, like 2,000 head, and they have how many acres of alfalfa?
They said like 4 or 5 acres.
So they have an ongoing agricultural / ranching operation with a farm ranching type operations manager. And they breed cattle. They sell it. It's certified Angus beef. And they shoot to make a profit. And of course, one of the questions that was asked was how much profit and how transparent is it to your ratepayers? They never fully answered that question as far as the amount of money, but they did give a good overview. A very interesting presentation. I had no idea this district did what it did, and on top of that, they own Jersey Island, which is out there in the Delta. So, and they have a fairly new recycled water plant. So I'm asking them for a tour. I'm going to go out there and see what that looks like. The presentation, the title was Operations of Cowboys.
I need to check on his iron force. Sanitary district, iron force. I guess like the term.
That's all I got.
Jody?
I have to say, I've always wondered how they fit the cattle ranching into their mission. Well, I'd be real interested to see what their mission is.
I mean, their budget's only $12 million a year.
Yeah, they're not a very big district. Okay, well, the first thing I did was to attend, and I have to say, I've managed to go to a lot of things, but I haven't been able to go to all, as some of you know. I broke a rib. It's not easy to do much of anything. A lot of pain pills and a driver. So I'll start with the teleconference for CASA. Everything is all set for the annual conference in August. We elected new officers, which you will see announced at CASA. We renegotiated a lease because they moved to a larger facility. As some of you know, CASA has completely revamped the way it operates. It used to be with an executive director. Now it's with an executive director, but there's an internal staff, and it looks a lot more like a special district than it does a club, which was interesting because, as some of you know, this has brought up some interesting items because our former general manager asked. At this moment, I guess the answer, and that's not really true, but at this moment, the direction from legal staff is that the local chapters are indeed going to have to file 990s. In order to do that, they're going to have to apply for exemptions, which I'm sure will come back as an arm of the government somehow, or maybe as an association with a specific nonprofit purpose. But anyway, open the door and you see what you get. But the other thing that was rather interesting in the lease was they are paying $1.65 a square foot, and it was a 5-year lease. Now, if anybody's aware, that's like steel. You can tell they're in Sacramento, they're not here. I mean, everybody else on the board was absolutely amazed because half the board comes from Southern California and the other half comes from the Bay Area, and $1.65 a square foot right now is a steal. It's more like 3 or 4 if you're lucky. But anyway, that was just an interesting aside. Again, everything's set for the conference, and that was about all that the CASA board discussed. The next one was the Alameda County Special Districts Association, a counterpart of what Ed went to. This was a very interesting meeting, actually. We were at East Bay Mud. Fortunately, my husband was able to drive me, and I came home with our general manager because it was downtown Oakland, and you all know how I love downtown Oakland. The host party gave us an update on East Bay Mud, which was Frank Millen, and I've heard his presentation before, so it wasn't enlightening. No, that's not fair. That was a bad choice of words. It was enlightening, except that I'd heard it before. And then there was a gentleman there from AC Transit talking about their new service, which is called, I gave it to Nicole, all right. But it's going to be something where you will actually be able to call for service, not for us out here, of course. Well, we have logged it anyway, but it will be sort of a call and get service, sort of like an AC Transit Uber on buses. They think it's great, and they believe it will work in Castro, Hayward, and San Leandro, and I guess we'll see. Let's see. The other, we added, because of the passage of the change of the bylaws in May, we added another at-large person, and his name is Ryan Klosnitzer. He's from the Mosquito Abatement Board. So instead of just having myself as the at-large, we now have an additional person. Let's see. When we got to the East Bay Regional Park report, it was pointed out that in case we didn't know it, which I didn't realize the number was this large, there are 9 lakes in East Bay Regional Park. And unfortunately, the weekend before, where 3 people total had died, none of them had life jackets on and none of them could swim. So there's now huge signs up again, bigger signs, I guess, to try and tell people, especially if you can't swim, don't go out in that lake without, any of them, without a life jacket. I guess that was about it for that meeting. But the last one I want to report on, and I don't usually report on, is the LAFCO meeting. There's a couple of things going on now that are interesting to us. One has to do with the request for LAFCO to initiate a special study of the Eden Township Healthcare District. Now, if you recall, we're doing all of this because Wilma Chan and another assembly person have gotten the senator to initiate to write a bill that we opposed to do away with Eden Township. And what's so frustrating for most of LAFCO about this is that Wilma Chan is the alternate county member on the LAFCO board. And yet she chose to go to a senator to write legislation to bypass the LAFCO board. So what happened is Hayward actually asked for a study because the senator, actually said he would hold up the bill if someone initiated a study. Now, ironically, we just finished an 18-month study, but nobody objected to anything. Now they're objecting. So we're going to comply, and we're going to initiate the study. It's kind of frustrating to have to do this all over again, but it's scheduled, the bill is scheduled to go, he is a senator. The bill is scheduled to go to Senate Appropriations on August 1st, and we're just starting the study, and last one took 18 months, so Lord only knows. And so we don't know exactly what the senator is going to do with the bill, but we have proceeded with the study. The other one directly affects us. This one's a little bit frustrating because we have been talking about out-of-service area agreements with Pleasanton for the last 6 or 7 months. As it turns out, over the length of the last approximately 30 years, Pleasanton has approved 63 connections that are out-of-service areas. Now, most of those are water, I have to admit. But, let me get your number here. 16 are sewer. 47 are water connections, 16 are sewer connections. Now, the issue becomes one of fairness because Mona, who's the executive director of LAFCO, has decided to treat these applications from the city of Pleasanton retroactively as 3 separate applications. We normally charge $3,500 per application, so this would have been, obviously do the math, would have been income to LAFCO, which of course they would have spent doing the annexation study, but it would have been an annexation. These are not annexations, they're simply allowing them into sewer and water service areas. And for 3 connections instead of 63, or 3 applications instead of 63 applications. Several of LAFCO are very concerned that it seems just a little bit unfair that now it's $3,500 per application times 3 instead of $3,500 per application times 63. Additionally, and this is where we come in, and I'm not sure what our response is going to be, or if Dan's just going to handle this himself, or if we care. I care, probably because I was involved in all the initial negotiations over the expansion of LAWMA, and it was such a painful experience. And we've come so far with them, but if there's over 10 connections, it requires LAWMA's approval. Now, to change the allocation in LAWMA, change is the big word here. Both Livermore and Pleasanton require votes. So since their allocation's gonna come down because they've used 16 more sewer connections than we thought, does that require a vote? I don't know the answer to that. But it does require a vote if it goes up, for sure. I don't know if you know the answer to that.
If 10, even if the connections are at a different point in time for sewer, if 10 of them or more are contiguous, even over time, that requires the consent of LAWMA by contract. So they have to get 4 of the 6 LAWMA directors to authorize that after that.
Even though the allocation is going to come down because these 16 have already been used?
Well, it's just written into the kind of the rules of the
Okay.
contract that way. And it was implemented as kind of a growth control
Yes.
tool by some agencies, and they wanted to ensure there wasn't rampant skirting of the rules and development outside city boundaries to circumvent the law agreement. So this was a limitation to accomplish that policy objective, to constrain or at least get law consent to expand outside the city boundaries.
And there was one item, I think recently, that went before Lawful, when Pleasanton was talking about annexing, I think it was the whole thing that started with Hidden Valley.
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley has 6 water and 10 sewer. The Riemann tract has 6 sewer and 6 water. And the west of Foothill Sonol has 5 water.
President Howard, are we starting to bump up against the boundaries of our agenda?
Yeah, we
Oh,
might.
you're right. Okay. You're absolutely right. So,
This is interesting, we should talk about it with this
Yes,
report.
you're right.
Yeah.
under my report, this of course is just a report.
Yeah.
So I really think we need to discuss it, or we need to just let LAWMA know that it's happened and they need to put it on their agenda.
I think that's in the works.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
So that's the last 2 things that I think of are any import of the additional meetings I've attended. Thank you.
All righty, Rich.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town for a few days on vacation, but reachable, just driving up to Oregon, take the kids to see the grandpa. So 2 days in a van with 8 and 10-year-old boys. 3 nights at my
Where are you
father.
going?
Mount Angel, Oregon. So 2 days up with the boys and then 3 nights at my father's house.
And then 2 days back.
You're the one that's going
I'm not quite sure vacation is the right word to use, but it's gonna be fun, we'll be fine.
Well,
Don't make me stop this car.
well, I have nothing. So, let's see, I guess it's time for closed session. At this time, the board will go into closed session. We'll be discussing item 11B only, not A. The broadcast will be stopped at this time, and we do not anticipate a report from closed session, but if there is one, it will be announced in open session at the end of the meeting. And if you wish information on that, please contact the district secretary during regular hours. So, off to 11B. And the attendees will be as
As
listed.